big breaking news. Manchester United have sacked Jose Mourinho.
An irresistible footballing force has emerged from Highbury. Record breakers, history makers. Arsenal have set new standards in English football with their incredible unbeaten run of 49 games.
10:02, good morning, this is Sports Addis on EBC 104.7. How are you doing, Dereje?
Much better than last week. Remember that I had alien voice last week, but today I'm feeling better, much better.
Welcome back. We've got some headlines for you. Leicester sack Claude Puel, and our second one is a day of penalty misses yesterday. So Leicester sacked Claude Puel last week. City were beaten 4-1 at home by Crystal Palace in what proved to be Puel's last match in charge. The French man had held the position for just 16 months, and of course we now know who the new manager is. And a day of penalty misses, if you're watching football yesterday, in the battle for fourth place in the English Premier League, both Arsenal and Manchester United missed penalties, but it was Arsenal's miss which would prove the most costliest as they slipped to fifth place. So coming up today on Sports Addis, we see how the top five in each league have performed. Last week we gave you a beginner's guide to rugby. This week is the beginner's guide to snooker. Or do you call it pool here? Or do you call it straight? You call it all sorts of...
There are different types.
There are different types, yeah. But we'll be finding out how you play that game, the correct rules, plus all the major sporting stories from across the globe. And don't forget to join the conversation on our Telegram group, Sports Addis, and our Facebook group, Sports Addis as well. Should we have a look at dive straight and have a look at the English Premier League, have a look at the results?
Yeah.
And what the top tables look like?
Yeah.
I did watch the Manchester United Southampton. What a cracking match that was. Really, really end-to-end stuff.
Yeah.
You know, only you get that sort of match in the Premier League. It was brilliant. And the goals were absolutely brilliant in that match. There wasn't one bad goal. They were all very good goals.
They were excellent goals, and it was really amazing to see Lukaku performing like that.
Yeah.
And actually, he was man of the match.
Yeah.
And when we look at the table now, Man City is now on top, even though Liverpool has a game in hand, which is going to be played today at 7:15 this evening. And Liverpool is second with 69 points. City is with 71 points. And Tottenham is third with 61. And Man United is 58. And Arsenal is fifth with 57. You know, Arsenal had the chance to keep the first place.
Yeah.
But Chelsea has now 2 games in hand, and they have 53 points. If they can manage to win both, they can be fourth.
Yeah. So up and down days, but one of the, as you said, the man of the match from Manchester United was Lukaku. So let's hear what he had to say after the match.
We had to win the game today, and we did it. Not our best game, to be honest, but we have to be happy. We created a lot of chances, especially in the first half, in the first 10 minutes, where we could have scored a few goals. But in the end, we reacted really well on the situations, and we won the game. That's the most important thing.
There's Lukaku, and very excited fans or players, we can't tell.
When we look at the match stats, you know, Manchester United had 64% ball possession, and they had 6 goals on shot, while Southampton had 3 only. And the touch, it's 712 for Manchester United and 475 for Southampton. So you can see that the Manchester United tried to dominate, but the defense was not as strong as it used to be. So it's it was really interesting and thrilling. In fact, it was
one of the better matches of the day.
Yeah, the last goal was scored in the 89th minute by Romelu Lukaku. The first one was by Jan Valry. It was in the 26th minute for Southampton, but Manchester United again had a very impressive goal by Andres Pereira. It was really impressive, and you don't usually see this guy. It's his first Premier League goal, by the way.
That was weird because there was Valerie and him, both of those, that were their first goals for their respective clubs.
Yes.
Okay. No. It's 10:11. This is Sports Addis on 104.7 FM EBC Radio. 123rd anniversary of Adwa. We are celebrating still, so let's continue the celebrations. You just heard Gigi Adwa.
Yeah, very memorable. Whenever Adwa comes, you always remember this song. And of course, the new Teddy Afro song.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But we're here to talk about football, so we directly move to the football in the Ethiopian Premier League. Last week, Sunday, Jimma Abba Jifar entertained Fasil Kenema and they drew 0-0. And on Thursday, last Thursday, Mekele Saba Ndurta played against Jimma Abba Jifar and they managed to win 2-1 at home. So that wraps up the first season of the Ethiopian Premier League. Now all the clubs have played 15 matches. So when we look at the standings, Mekele Saba Ndurta looks comfortable after winning Jimma Abba Jifar on Thursday. They have 35 points after playing 15 matches. Sidama Buna is second with 30 points. St. George 26 points, third place, and Fasil Kenema is fourth with 25 points. Hausa Kenema is 24th with 24 points, fifth, and Adama Kenema is 6th. Bahar Kenema 7th, 8th is Ethiopia Buna, and Walwalo Adigrat University is 10th, Mekelaka 11th, Dredwa Kenema 12th, 13 is Walaita Dicha, and 14 Dawu Police, Sultra and David 15th and 16th respectively. So this is what the standings look like in the Ethiopian Premier League, and the top scorers so far are Emmanuel Mikael from Mekele Saba Ndurta has 11 goals, and Menilu Wendemo has 11 goals again from Mekelaka, and Addis Ababa from Sidama Buna has 10 goals. So that is how the Ethiopian Premier League first season ended.
Sounds exciting. That was the voice of formerly known the alien that he's now called Dereje.
Coming back to
life.
Yeah.
10-18 on Sports. Two other stories for you. NBA, the Chicago Bulls beat the Atlanta Hawks 168-161 in the third highest scoring game in NBA history. Chicago's Zach LaVine and Italian Trae Young scored career highs of 47 and 49 respectively in the marathon game, which went to a fourth overtime. Both teams also set club records and points scored in the game. I've never been part of a game that long, LaVine said, and Gilboard missed backboard completely because I shan't say the word he used, but tired. Power forward Larry McConnell made 3 free throws in the fourth overtime to secure the win for the Bulls. The Finn finished with 31 points and 17 rebounds for the Bulls, who topped their 156-155 quadruple overtime win at Portland in March 1984. So really good day for the Chicago Bulls. Other sad news in boxing. Eusebio Prezo, the boxer who Barry McGuigan defeated, memorably, if you remember that, back in 1985, has died aged 62. He said, a very sad day for me as my rival and outstanding world featherweight champion Pedroza passed away. It was a pleasure to share the ring with him. So sad news. We've got some Formula 1 news, we've got some cricket news, we've got some UFC news and stuff all to come. But first we're going to have a look at Serie A.
It was really amazing actually. After Ronaldo left, Real Madrid seemed to be very, very, low level or mid-table club. It's not really that interesting anymore. They must have this star player, at least someone who can, even though it's going to be very difficult to fill his shoes, it's very important for them to put someone.
I think the star players are now in the Premier League. That's what I think. I think in the coming seasons you'll see clubs like Barcelona and Madrid going to take players from the Premier League to create new stars.
Definitely. That's the only option they have. Probably that also from the French League. They might take Mbappe or, Madrid might even take back
Neymar. You can see Neymar coming back, Because at the moment, the Serie A is not looking that exciting, is it? In the sense of star, in the sense of star players, it's like you have Messi and.
You mean Primera Division? The Spanish La Liga.
You have Messi and who?
Messi and Messi. Yeah.
So and you have Ronaldo on the other side, and who? And who?
No one.
It's getting a bit boring. Yeah. We're not really talking about French League today, but the French League is ridiculous. It's ridiculous, as they say. It's like a one-man race in the French League. It's Paris Saint-Germain with all the money, all the best players, and all the points.
Yeah, and in Germany, in the German also, it looked like it, but now there is, kind of competition between the third, second place. So, it was dominated by Bayern Munich. Just before you get into what you're going to tell us, I would like to raise 1 point from the Ethiopian, one of the Ethiopian midfielders, Elias Mamo, who left Jimma Bajifar before a couple of days ago, has joined Dreda Kanama. Elias moved to Jimma Bajifar before 5 months ago after signing a 1-year contract, but he still has been cut short after agreeing with club managers. And Elias signed a 1-year contract with Dreda Kanama, and he came through the youth system from St. George, and after that he played for the Ethiopia Nigd Bank for 4 years, and he also is known for playing in the Ethiopian Premier League in the Chan competition. So good luck to Elias Mamo.
Good luck on your new journey.
Yeah.
It's 10:25. We mentioned at the start of the show that Claude Puel had been sacked after 16 months from Leicester City, and they had now signed Brendan Rodgers, who's back. It was very funny. Jurgen, when Jurgen Klopp heard that Brendan Rodgers was coming back to the Premier League, do you know what he said? Mm-hmm. He said, "I hope he's not going to manage Everton."
Really? Because Brendan Rodgers managed Liverpool.
Of course, yeah.
And he was okay. He was an okay.
So I think what most people are saying is that exciting football will be coming back to Leicester. They'll be playing a bit more exciting football under Brendan Rodgers. The fans of Celtic are absolutely fuming. They're so angry that Brendan Rodgers has left Celtic, obviously. But do you think he's going to do well?
I think so.
Yeah.
He's really quite well organised, and we've seen also how Liverpool was playing under Brendan Rodgers, and I think he will be successful.
Yeah. We've actually got a bit of Brendan. We can just have a sneak peek.
Well, first of all, Brendan, a huge welcome to Leicester City Football Club. How does it feel to be here?
Well, it feels great. It's obviously come very quickly, and obviously, of course, over the last few days. But I know I'm joining a fantastic club that has grown so quickly over these last few years, and I'm just delighted to be here.
What most attracted you to the football club, or is it difficult to pinpoint just one reason?
Yeah, I think there was a number of reasons. I was certainly in no hurry to leave Celtic. Celtic is a club that's a huge club, worldwide, renowned club, and love working with the players there. We were on a journey of great success over this last 3 years. But when the opportunity came to talk to Leicester, and I was able to analyse it, allowed me to probably think that I'd probably achieved and taken the club maybe at Celtic as far as I could at this moment. Then the opportunity to speak with Leicester and find out their ambitions and where we can grow the club and the training facility, and of course the big attraction for me is working with the players. It's a young squad, a very dynamic squad that's got huge potential, and like I say, you get some other players with real good experience also. So there's a number of factors of being here, and like I say, I'm absolutely delighted.
And just finally, is there anything that you'd like to say to the fans after obviously being confirmed as the club's new manager?
Yeah, but I would just like to say I'm very privileged and honoured to be here as the manager. I'll promise that I'll give my life to making them proud of their team and proud of their club, and I look forward to working with them, because together we're stronger, and it's been a really difficult period, like I say, but my message is that together we'll be stronger.
Sounded a bit like he was making an advert.
Yeah, I will give my life.
Give my life.
That's like, it sounded as if it's a battle or Adwa or something. So
I'm sure the Celtic fans would be saying, I bet you said that you were going to be with us, you were going to support us, and now
you probably have said the same thing for Celtic fans. But anyway, I'm definitely sure that he will be successful.
Yeah, I think so. I think he'd be very successful.
Yeah. How about Fulham?
Yeah, well, Fulham now. I mean, poor Claudio Ranieri. I mean, what is
really
going on?
Shame. It's
What
really
is going
shame.
on?
Fulham, they have such Ranieri,
Yeah.
and they have put.
They've got Scott Parker in, a
yeah.
former player as well.
Yeah.
So they've got Scott Parker in. He was known as quite a hard man of football. I think the players will respect him. But it's like, he's not got the experience as Claudio Ranieri, so I'm not sure what they're really expecting.
They're hoping for him to do
To do a
just like-
Solskjaer. To be a Solskjaer
Exactly.
number 2.
Yeah, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But I think Fulham will relegate this season.
You think?
I think.
Time is running out for Fulham.
Definitely.
Fulham versus Chelsea, you've got to say it's got to be Chelsea. It'll be a miracle. It'll be an absolute miracle if
Fulham can win.
If Fulham can win.
Yeah, so the caretaker manager, Scott Parker,
Yeah.
he said it's a mixed emotions with, what with sitting where we are in the league and Claudio losing his job, he said. But the flip side is one of excitement, and I appreciate the opportunity, and I'm really looking forward to it. That's what he said. It's definitely an audition, he said. Maybe he's thinking to take the job in a permanently, which is possibly going to happen for Solskjaer. On a personal note, this is something I started working towards 7 years ago when I was a Spurs player. I have got an ambition to be a manager. My main focus at this moment is in time getting the team together, finding some stability. And on the other hand, the funny guy, who was really furious about his goalkeeper last week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kepa, yeah.
Kepa.
Yeah.
The Kepa situation is now closed, he said, and Kepa is our first choice goalkeeper. But we are very happy for Willy Caballero. Am I right?
Yes, you are indeed.
Because now we know very well he's able to play also in a very difficult match. I'm sure in one of the next 2 matches, Kepa will be on the pitch.
Kepa Gate is finally closed, and he's been fined as well. 10:34. You're listening to Sports Addis. Don't forget, you can follow us on Facebook, Sports Addis, and on Telegram. Join the conversation. Tell us who you are supporting. Maybe you're not even a football fan. Maybe you like boxing. Maybe you like cricket. Maybe you're a tennis fan. Or Formula One. That is coming. I was just watching the Formula One test races the other day. Very exciting for Formula One. Lewis Hamilton, Mercedes. I think they're not going to be favourites for Formula One season. We might have a look at that a bit later on. But yeah, I'm looking forward to the Formula One as well. Let's have some music, shall we?
Yeah.
This guy has a new album out. He was a guest on this very station last week. He was on the A-List Ethiopia show. His name is Johanna. So let's have some music from him. I like. 10:38. That is Johanna from his new album. Johanna is the album as well, so you must check it out. We like that. Yeah, Sports Addis, EBC. We have loads of sports stories. So I don't know. Before we have a look at what's going on today's match, we should have a look at the head-to-heads and what's going on between Everton and Liverpool, because that is a big derby happening today, sports fans. If you're looking forward to that, that's going to be the match of the day. Everton versus Liverpool. Always a very, very tight match. And Everton at home, again, when it's a derby, it's completely different. Mm-hmm. You know, you can't tell who's going to win. And if Liverpool should lose this match,
Yeah.
I don't know. But before we do talk about that, let's fill you in some other footballing stuff which has caught my eyes. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has confirmed that Antonio Valencia will leave Man United after 10 seasons. Although I have been told they are still asking him if he wants to extend his contract, but he's probably not going to do that at the moment.
Actually, if the club wanted, they could sign him.
Right.
They can sign him, but the club, I don't think the club wants him to stay.
Okay.
But he's really a good servant. He stayed there for 10 years.
Yeah.
And he was really amazing captain also in the past few years.
Arsenal, they're preparing a $5 million bid for a Brazilian forward called Gabriel Martinelli. And typical Arsenal, he's only 17-year-old guy and has 3 goals in 9 appearances, and no one's heard of him, but Arsenal are looking to buy him.
babysitting.
Former Manchester United Hang on, let me. Before I do this story, are there any Manchester United fans out there who miss Marianne Fellaini? Are there any? No. Okay, right then. So let's start this story again. Former Manchester United midfielder Marianne Fellaini scored the winner for his new club, Shandong Luen, in a 1-0 victory on his Chinese Super League debut.
Yes, and he was really tall, and you could see him standing out from the rest of the players.
Yeah. This is another one. Before we get to La Liga, here's one. I'm not sure if you've heard about this. La Liga games will no longer take place on Monday, says the Spanish FA president Luis Rubiales. Alves supporters held a mock funeral during the La Liga win over Levante in protest at the match being switched to Monday night for live TV coverage. But if you are going to pick up that long stick and you're going to knock balls into a hole, you might call it pool, you might call it straight, you might call it snooker, whatever. But snooker, the rules. Do you know how to play snooker? It's 10:54. You're listening to Sports Addis on EBC 104.7. That is Clean Bandit, rather be. We're about to wrap the show up, so...
Right, just before we leave, let's announce the next week's English Premier League fixtures. Crystal Palace will entertain Brighton and Hove Albion, and Cardiff City will host West Ham United, and Huddersfield Town will play against Bournemouth, and Leicester City Fulham under new managers. Yeah. They will play, and Newcastle United will host Everton. We'll see how it goes for Everton in today's match, and Southampton will play against Tottenham Hotspur, and Manchester City will entertain Watford. So these are the fixtures that are going to be played on Saturday the 9th of March. And when we look at on Sunday's match, actually we will get back to the Sunday's match when we come back in the studio next week. Liverpool versus Burnley, Leicester City versus Wolverhampton, and Arsenal versus Manchester United.
That's going to be a big match.
A big match, and we will say a lot about this match on our Facebook page as well as on our Telegram group. So we want our listeners to keep in touch.
Yeah. Well, I hope you've enjoyed the show. We are back next week. Stay tuned to EBC, and we are back with more sports next week.